available to them, and people are going,
in theory, yes.
Yeah, but it's a very centralised, non-self-sovereign system that is completely owned and controlled by the government. So in a situation like that, what's more urgent? Is it about getting people into the system so that they can access the services that they need at the expense of privacy? Or should we be putting more pressure on governments to make sure that these systems are designed better in the first place? It's a chicken and egg type thing. Like, how do you get people on board?
I mean, it's not a binary, right? So it's not either or. I think it's both, right? So we need to drive more inclusion, and we need to do a better job of architecting systems. So Adahar was a fantastic idea in some regards, but in other regards suffered from some core flaws around system design. So one thing that I want to encourage all of you to think about is systems thinking versus point solution thinking. So in Adahar, for example, there's a news article about a woman who died because she could not get her monthly food ration from the government because she was too sick. She was laid up in bed, and in order to get her food ration, she had to physically present herself at the merchant and present her fingerprint. And so she just kept getting weaker and weaker, and her family was not allowed to collect her, I think it was like a bag of rice or her food ration. And so that was an issue, as I understand it, where the merchants had not been adequately trained in how to use the Adahar verification for the disbursement of government benefits. So the technology worked, but the system and business processes had not been fully aligned. So this is why I say we got to think critically about all this stuff. Technology is not a silver bullet. It's not a magic solution. But it can help us do some things that we weren't able to do before. And it's critically important when you're doing this to think about the impacts of this technology on people and the potential unintended consequences if certain dimensions of the technology are not adequately deployed. At the same time, India did the very impressive task of getting 1.2 billion people into existence in a digital form. And that is to be commended. Well, tell you what, I'm going to release everybody else into the wild, and if you want to come up and ask questions afterwards, I welcome you. But thank you all for taking the time today.